Hey guys, Kev here, and I wanted to do a quick comparison of two FocusWorks flashlights. Now, I've had this one. This is the FocusWorks F2 in aluminum, and I've had this light for about a month now, and I absolutely love this light. It was my everyday driver for, I don't know, 3 weeks until my Okluma DC0 came in titanium. I absolutely love this flashlight, but I truly love this one as well. I just have been kind of occupied with this one since it came in. This one had its, 3 weeks in pocket, but I do think I'm going to try to rotate it in again now that I've had the DC0 for a little while. I might do a video wrapping that one up and then put everything into rotation, but LeftyEDC was kind enough to send me a F3 to check out, and I really like the design on this. I like the flashlight in general. I think maybe I slightly prefer the F2 design, but not by much, and I don't know. It's a tricky thing, but I really like both. I would like probably to own both. I would try to get a different color in the F3, maybe. When they do finally have some titanium versions available, maybe I'll get the F3 in titanium so that I just have different ones. I don't know yet. But I wanted to talk about a couple of differences and just show you the light so you guys can get an idea if you're looking at either light. There's not a lot of content on YouTube about custom flashlights. So I know I'm not an expert. I know I'm not, I don't know the nitty gritty on drivers and all that stuff. So I'm not going to be able to help you with that, but I can help you with the build quality, the feel. I can show you. I'm going to take these outside. I'm going to show you the differences and that kind of stuff. So hang in there with me if you're interested in any of that. Both of these are rocking a 14500, I believe it's a Keep Power 1100 mAh, 3.7 volt, 4.07 watt hour button top battery. These are the batteries that FocusWorks recommends you use, and I have like 4 of them, so I just threw one in here. LeftyEDC again sent me this. It did not come with a battery, which was odd, but this does not come with a battery, so keep that in mind. If you buy one of these from LeftyEDC, they will not come with a battery. You can just go to FocusWorks website to get the battery, but they're in Canada. So what I would recommend, and they can only ship, I think, 1 battery at a time. What I would recommend you do is go over to Illumn, I think it's illumn.com. I'll link it down below. It's like ILLUMN.com. That's where I get my batteries usually. The other place I get them is Lion Whole Supply or Lion Battery Whole Supply. I think Lion stands for lithium ion. And they have them as well. Just make sure you get the button top 1100 mAh. This is what FocusWorks, Jordy over there, recommends. So I like to always get the batteries that is recommended to me with the flashlight. For example, with my Okluma, Jeff over there, he recommends the Vapcell 1250 mAh flat top battery, 4.6 watt hours, 3.7 volts. Now, just to show you, both of these flashlights will accommodate, haven't tested this, but both of these should accommodate the other battery. It's not really a functional issue. Well, it might be in this case because I can't, barely got it in there. Let's see. Again, he recommends the flat top, and that might be because you can't even close. I'm not going to force it. So in some cases, you do actually want to make sure you get the right one. So what I do is I just stock up on whatever the maker recommends. So in this case, Okluma, when I ordered the flashlight, I ordered 3 extras. I think it comes with 1. I ordered 3 extras, so I had 4. I'm a little crazy. You probably only need 2. That'll last you a couple years at least. But I always get 4. Now, one other thing I'd like to know is you saw how tight that battery was in that Okluma. This has a little more room. Now, once you put the head on, which is another thing with the FocusWorks. You got to make sure when you put this on, you push down. And this video basically serve as a review for the F2 as well. You have to push down there and then get that threading started. It can be a little bit of a pain to do. I noticed when I was putting this one in, it took me a minute. Sometimes you get caught on the thread. You don't have it lined up perfectly, right? You're almost cross-threading. You just have to get that pressure right with getting it on there, and it can just be a little bit of a process. You have to push against the spring, and sometimes it can feel almost like you're gonna mess something up. You can hear the spring creaking as it's tightening down. That's all normal. And then you just tighten it, and then you can check your function there, okay? So these are essentially, I don't know, this is a brand new flashlight. I think it's just my oils or something. I've noticed the coloring is different. This is a darker black, and I think maybe this came like this, and your oils just kind of like make it turn this color. So that might be what's happening here. I have to send this back, so I want to be careful. But yeah, so sorry, I forget what I was saying. These are $185. You can actually get them in like a raw titanium for $175. That's incredible to me. This is a custom-made flashlight in Canada, and I think they're excellently made. The quality's top-notch. If you just want a banging flashlight in a great EDC size that's custom-made because you don't want to support the, production China stuff, this is the one, guys. I really think this is the one. I just noticed this clip might be off center. Look at that. Slide that over. Grab my bit driver. See, now I'm all OCD up in here. Tighten those down. Yeah, it slips around a little bit. Never noticed that. Hoping that's really a T6 and not a Torx or a Hex. Should be fine. You can see the screws are different. These might be from different batches, but I mean, that clip is the same. It's just that on this one, they have these sort of flat sticking out screws. This one's more button top. I really like these button top ones better, but I like that these are T8 or that's not a T8, that's a Hex of some sort. I think this is too, and I just stuck a T6 in there, but it doesn't matter, I own this one. I never noticed that clip shifting in my pocket or anything, but this one, let's see. Yeah, that's not going anywhere, so that might be why he switched to these. I don't know. I'm not sure. You can actually see, the screws coming out of the back there, and you can't hear. So it looks like he went with a longer screw there. That's just interesting. Maybe he just ran out of these or something. I don't know. But $175 to $185 in aluminum. It's just a fantastic deal for what you get. Now, the models are essentially the same. It's just that the F2 over here is thinner in this area right here. And then it comes to full thickness out towards the head where the driver is and everything. Where the F3 just holds that thickness throughout. So it's not technically thicker, it's just that it's thicker throughout, if that makes sense. But I think they're both around 0.83, 0.85 on the thickest part. So I think in pocket, they would pretty much feel the same. I don't think they would feel different. In hand, you notice the difference. You can feel that little bit of thinness back here on this one that you don't get here. Is it a game changer or anything? No, it's really just preference. Very small thing. I would say, like right now, you can get this at Urban EDC. If you can get it, I would just get that. That kind of thing. You can order both of these right now from FocusWorks directly. So if you prefer one over the other, you can definitely choose. But if you want it shipped from the US and everything, you can just get it from Urban EDC. Use my link if you want, whatever. But yeah, so that's really the difference in the models. And then you have the this sort of pattern grip here. and this one has this knurling sort of style there. And that's really it that I can tell for differences. You know, you have a little bit of a taper here where this just has this line. And then those screws we talked about. And maybe the color difference. But again, I think this would turn to this eventually. They both have the McClicky switch with the same cap and everything. The rubber shoe or whatever they're called. They both feel identical when clicked. They have really nice tings. I love that. They both have 3 modes. So you have low, medium, and high. Sorry. Low, medium, high. And this has low, medium, high. Now the difference is when you order directly, you can choose 2 things. So you actually get some decent customization for a flashlight that has 0 programmability. You actually get some decent customization. 1, you can choose, if you want, the F2 or the F3. So you get to choose between the body style, right? 2, you get to choose whether you have memory or no memory. These both have memory, and I wish I had ordered no memory. And I can briefly explain that. But essentially, memory is, okay, I put it on medium. Now when I click off, the next time I turn it on, what's going to happen? It's going to come on medium, right? And then I have to cycle to get to the next thing I want. They both have just 3 modes, low, medium, high. But the problem I have with memory on these, at least, and maybe in general, I don't know if all lights do this. My Okluma has no memory. I asked for it specifically because I didn't want it to be like this. If you do what I call a press check, where you're like, okay, I want it on low. Got it. Perfect. It's on low. If you don't have it on low for 3 seconds, it doesn't lock in memory. And no, it doesn't default to the previous either. It thinks you're in between or something. So now when I click it on, it's going to be medium. And that really bugs me. And you see how long I left it on? Just a second. So now it's going to be high. Now it's going to be low. And unless you leave it on for 3 seconds, it will not remember. So now medium. See, it's really frustrating when you do press checks like I do. You do not have to click. You just have to hold 3 seconds. Off. Now we're back on low. So the problem with that is I tend to be, I'm getting ready for bed. I'm about to go into my bedroom. And my wife is sleeping, and I need to make sure I don't wake her up. Or I try not to, right? So I'm like, okay, I want to make sure I'm on low. I go like this. Okay, I'm on low. And I let go. And then I go about my stuff. Maybe I got to get the stuff out of the dryer or whatever. And then I go into the bedroom, and I'm like, okay, I got it on low. Bam! And I just hit it with freaking medium. Which is like, I don't know, 300 lumens on this thing or something. So it just... it's not a problem. Now that I know, I just make sure I go to low, click on for 3 seconds, and click off. And now I'm good to go. Not the end of the world. But, it took me a minute. I thought it was broken. Because I'm like, it doesn't work. The memory doesn't work. And this one's going to be the same way. Turn that on. Now it'll be on high again. Right? If I go to low... turn it right off. That wasn't long enough. Now we're on medium. Turn it on, and now it'll stay on low. Can't do a press check. Gotta wait 3 seconds. All right. So it's just a thing I don't love. So you can choose memory or no memory on the website. Then you can also choose your emitter. Now this is important for some people. I personally have grown to like a yellower light. A softer light, right? So I like 4000 K, which is Kelvin, K for Kelvin. 4,500K. You know, once you get to 5,000, it's okay, but it's not my favorite. And anything higher than that, I really just don't like. And I can actually show you what I'm talking about. Shout out to my good buddy Brent over at Backpack B. He gave me this handy dandy light from, I forget the brand, but it has a bunch of different settings. So a kid like threw it off the table, so I think it kind of messed up the holder a little bit. But let me just show you here. So if I go to the app, Elgato Control, I can turn this on. Let me just do this. So I can change the brightness, obviously, on this light. So for the purposes of this demonstration, I'll make it bright. So that's bright, and we are at 2,900 Kelvin, okay? So I prefer flashlights in the 4,000 range, right? Like right there. That's what I like in a flashlight, okay? My Okluma, or I should say, my F2 is at 4,000. So this light should match this light. As I back up, it's pretty close, right? That's 4,000. My Okluma is at 4,500, which is what we are at now. So if I take out my Okluma, put it on high, back up, it's pretty much blending in with that color, right? Most of your flashlights, like my CWF Micro Arcadian, is at 5,000. This F3 is at 5,000. This is 5,000. It starts to become a whiter, bluer light. And that is what you get here. So hopefully you can see the difference. Whiter, bluer light. And as you go through that spectrum, like this light here can go all the way up to 7,000. You see how much bluer that gets? And then we go all the way down to a much softer light, right? I haven't seen any flashlights this low. Usually they're all within this like 4, like right here to like right here is what I've seen, this kind of range. But you can see a difference there, right? As I go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So hopefully that gives you some kind of an idea there. And that's the difference. And you could choose. All right, softer, warmer, brighter, whiter. So I obviously chose 4,000 and I chose memory. If I had it to do over again, I would do 4,000 no memory. But maybe you want 5,000 and you want memory or no memory. Maybe you want this body with that. You know, you can kind of do these combinations, which is really cool. It also comes in a bunch of different flavors. They both do. So I'll go over here to FocusWorks. And just to plug Jordy a little bit, he also sells these really cool fidgets called the Drifter. It's like these two coins that you slide together. It is really fun. And you can adjust the strength a little bit. He makes pens. He has Bob the Box Cutter, which is a really cool box cutter if you're right-handed. But let's look at the flashlights. He has all these other flashlights, but I believe he only has the F2 and F3 available right now. And you can see these are sold out, but he had these on sale for $150. Titanium ones are hopefully coming, and those are $300. That's great. Just for reference, an Okluma is $470 in titanium. My CWF Micro Click, which is like a thin-ass flashlight, was like $500. So these prices are phenomenal. So here you go, $185. You can get it in olive green, copper for $250. You can get straight aluminum for $175. And then they have this cool gunmetal blue. They have orange, black, distressed gunmetal. Then they have distressed everything. Very, very cool stuff. Right now on Urban EDC, they have the green and they have the black in the F3. So if you want to order from them using my link, those are your two options right now. And I don't know if they're listing the emitter or anything, but this one at least is 5000K, so I assume maybe the other one they have is 2. We can go over there actually and see if they're listing that, because I would want to know. And unfortunately, there's no way to tell on the actual flashlight because the boxes don't have anything listed on it. I think they bought these at a show or something. And there's just no listing. Has the color F3, but it doesn't say memory, no memory, any of that stuff. So here you go. You can see they have olive green and they have black left. And let's see. They say right here that it is a 5000K LH351D LED, which is funny because it's actually the same as this Woven I just did a video on. It does have up to 900 lumens, and yeah, there you go. So they're selling them for $185, so you get the same price. So there you go. That is a overview of the F2 and F3 from FocusWorks. I really enjoy this flashlight quite a bit. I want more of them. I want a titanium one, ultimately, is my goal. I don't know if I'm going to go for an F2 or an F3. I know I'm going to shoot for no memory on whichever one I get. But I don't think I have a preference in the body. I think I would be perfectly happy with either. Let me try this one in the pocket, see if it feels any different. I mean, it feels comfortable in the pocket. Clip is nice and tight. Let's try this one. This one I've obviously carried. Yeah, you do actually feel that thinness just a little bit in the pocket. So I think I would go for the F2 personally again, for that single reason, because I want it to feel as slim as possible, you know. So I'm going to cut to a video where I'm outside, and I'm going to use both of these just so you can see the difference between that 4,000 and 5,000. And it'll be pretty short, and then I will let you guys go. So I appreciate your time. I appreciate you checking these out. I know, you know, not everybody who watches my channel is into flashlights, but I really want to get some content out there on these lights that are just really underrepresented on YouTube. It's unfortunate because these are fantastic flashlights, and this specifically for the price is just silly. So I highly recommend the FocusWorks F2 and F3. And Jordy's a good dude, so you're going to get great customer service if you ever have issues down the line. That is a concern for me because you have custom lights, and you know, if a company just stops making flashlights and stops responding to people, what happens if you have an issue? You're really shit out of luck. So it's good to know that Jordy's been around a long time, and it looks like he's going to stay around a long time. So I'm going to cut to that footage. I love you guys. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will catch you later. Hey guys, so we're going to check out the F2 and F3 from FocusWorks here. I have the F3 on my right. This is going to be the 5000K emitter. And then we're going to have the F2 on my left with the 4000K emitter. They're rocking the same battery. They have the same settings. So it's really just the emitter that you're going to see the difference on. And that might help you in deciding what you want to go for. So I'm going to do the F2 first because I've already rocked this. It is worth noting that I have white balance locked on the camera. So you should see what I see. It does tend to be a little bit brighter over the camera though. So here we go. It's going to start on low right here. And again, yes, it looks much brighter on camera, but you'll see the difference between the two, hopefully. I'll try to shine it down here so you can see that softer light here. There's the sign over there. And then we have our tree. I'll try to lean back so you guys can see the tree better. And I'm going to head over to medium. And this is going to be medium right here. Very bright, very well done. I don't know the lumen count, 300 to 400 maybe on medium. And you got pretty good throw. I mean, I can see across the street somewhat to that flagpole. Let's go to high. This is going to be high, so you're looking at 900 lumens with that 4000K emitter. And again, it is very bright, but not quite as bright as it looks in person. Try not to shine in those people's houses, so I can see that flagpole much better across the street. So that is the F2 from FocusWorks. And now let's try the F3. So basically the same, just 5000K on the emitter. Here is low. Okay, so in person, these seem extremely similar. I'm gonna have to do a side-by-side in a second, we'll see. But very, very similar here. This actually looks a little bit softer in terms of how it's hitting that tree. It's almost like we have less lumens, but I'm not positive. Let's head over to medium. And again, we're doing a lot better here. See that flagpole pretty well in person, and there's that tree. Now we're gonna hit high, 900 lumens. And this is really where personally you see the difference in the emitter when you're outside. Inside, I feel like I notice it a lot more, but outside I don't really notice it until I'm on this high setting here. So there you go on that one. Now let me grab both. I'll move over to this sort of darkened area of the house, and then we have these two right here, and let's get them both on low. And again, this time I'll switch them over so we keep it consistent. F2 in the left hand, F3 in the right. And I can see a much warmer light over here compared to that. I don't know if you see it. Yes, you can see it. Am I stepping on that? What is going on? But yeah, that is much warmer when I take this one away, and then when I switch. See that? So let's head to medium on both, and same thing. Much more obvious close up, right? But at a distance, man, my air conditioner sounds like a shotgun going off. Here's full brightness. Much warmer here, less so here. Harder to tell now because you're so close. So let's go back over here. Let's see if we can tell. So there's your F2 with the warmer light, and there's your F3 with the whiter light. Warm, white, warm, white. Very hard to tell, right? So I think in practice, you're not going to notice all that much of a difference, but appreciate you guys coming to my FocusWorks TED Talk. I love you guys, and I'll catch you later. Peace.